because I'm running about 10 minutes behind normal. Good morning, everybody. Oh, yeah, that's right. Mornings Wood, we'll call them, that certain podcast. You'll figure out who it is in a minute. They're on and on and on again about how disgracefully and bad all these other. And once again, Kathleen Kennedy is the ire of their existence. Haven't these guys figured out that Kathleen Kennedy's dug into that position like an Alabama tick? You're not getting rid of her. Especially not what a bunch of jerkwads on a backwater podcast say. I don't care what numbers you have. I don't. It's kind of sad too, because I used to go to that channel for news, and now all I get is a bunch of dudes and the creepy foreign accent guy telling me about how Kathleen Kennedy has somehow ruined their lives. But Ncuti wore a hat. I love how everybody. Was it a Stetson? I couldn't make it out. He's got its thing on the back on his head a bit, so I wasn't really able to tell what kind of hat it was. Also, there's the Rolling Stone article. You may want to go check that out. It's drifting around everywhere. Some pretty cool photos out of that. A lot of great quotes, too. He comments on John Pertwee's stylish wardrobe, things like that. So what's everybody else doing this morning? Me, I am sitting here at a top secret location nowhere near Barry or Cardiff in Wales. As you can see, the pre-dawn over there. Starting to slowly rise. Yeah, the days are already getting shorter again as we do the climb downwards. Yeah, the cafe in Barry. Yeah, if you go look on DWSR, yeah, there's footage of that as well. Don't worry about being spoiled. It's all shot from pretty far away, so you're not going to make out any dialogue or anything. I'm just glad those guys aren't being branded as set stalkers like, they did others before. Because I remember when, I think it was George Baker, Adam Orford, and a bunch of others were being all kinds of sets of names from various people on the web, like Mutt Whaling, things like, and I don't look, as much as I'm really looking forward to Ncuti's performance. I have no dog in that fight regarding the Barbie movie. I'm not even interested in watching it. Not my bag. Not going to do it. No. Hell, we dialed off of this week's Riverdale because it was going to be an all musical episode. And I'm like, we didn't even make it 10 minutes in. I'm like, do you really want to watch this? Just like when, great, now I can't remember the name of it because I've repressed the memory. It was that musical with Ryan Reynolds and, what do you call it, Ferrell. Will Ferrell. The Christmas one. We thought this was going to be a comedy. So we put it on because you're like, come on, Will Ferrell, Ryan Reynolds, and it was a musical. Spirited, thank you. Yeah, like I said, we thought this was going to be a big comedy deal, and it was like I felt like, Hal at the end of 2001. My mind is going. I can feel it. It was just horrible. But the birds are chirping. No, she was watching Jurassic Park 3 with my backstabbing cat who'll be sitting in my chair probably by now. Ugh. Getting mommy time while I'm stuck at work. Now, she was watching it, because I'm sitting there looking at all these people. Our son's missing on an island full of dinosaurs. Let's shout for him. Hey, at least the fans can't complain as far as Ncuti goes, because remember one of the big complaints? She's not ever heard of the show before. And I'm like, neither did Matt Smith. Ugh. Oh, God, don't remind me of Titanic. That movie was such a joke. We're going to go running around waist deep in freezing water with absolutely no hypothermia until we jump off the ship. Oh, come on, Philip. You were hoping he'd be wearing that familiar hat with the ostrich feather in it. My chin feels naked. I actually had somebody look at me yesterday and go, wow, you grew that mustache fast. I'm like, no, I shaved my beard off. I've always had the mustache. Sorry, it's just, I can't really cover 15, 20 minutes about Ncuti being in a hat. I'm glad that they're varying his costume a bit. That's one of the things I would have loved to have seen in the, past, era. There's more variances on the costume. Your thoughts on AI? Well, you should know my thoughts on AI if you've listened to It's Time to Pull the Weeds, which is that short story I adapted into a small audio play. It can have its dangers. Leak, Millie Gibson's going to be in it. No. Leak, Donna's in the 60th. Oh. Yeah, I went a little too overboard towards the end on that one, but I don't know. I've just got all these ideas, and I keep telling myself I'm going to work on them, and then by the time I get out of here, my brain's been pressed flat, and Millie Gibson's going to be wrestling. Yeah, wait till the fans found out if that was true. Oh my God, Doctor Who is once again gone woke. I'm sure all the villains will be old white men. Oh God. I'm like, whoever was spouting that nonsense had obviously never watched the classic series. And whoever said was it getting too political, once again, obviously never watched the whole series or the classic series. It's one of the things that made Doctor Who so powerful, is like Star Trek and many other long-lasting programs. It was an allegory of modern society. It's how it worked. That part I never got to. I just glanced over it real quick. Yeah, the Green Death was addressing pollution, corporatism, and a bunch of other stuff. And sure enough, yeah, the villain was a computer being run by a bunch of old white men. Stevens. I want some input, Stevens, if you know what I mean. Not the helmet. Bend over the desk. And trust me, if you're an eagle-eyed fan of Doctor Who, you won't believe how many times you see certain props being reused. Like that headgear the Doctor was wearing, that got passed around so many times in the third Doctor era. You know, in the Time Warrior, it's the thing, and it's the input thing on Green Death, and then later on, oh God, it just... Yep, Barry pushing his evil Buddhist agenda. Yeah. He's going to force Taoism down into the minds of our children. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing, what they got in store with us with Ncuti, I'm always trying to stay excited. I'm not going to prejudge anything based off, preconceived notions of what the show should be like. Oh, God, Horns of the Nyaman. That was such a horrible take on the Minotaur and all that stuff. Oh, man. We did kind of get to sort of see a cousin of the Nyaman species, and that was in the God Complex. Imagine if they remade the Nyamans all like that. Then, have them pop back up. The ones I've been wanting to pop back up for billions of years are the Draconians. Because they had such they were such an interesting culture and all that. I think that's kind of like why I did my take on that with Kung Fu Bob's species on Rodinsha. Yes, the proper pronunciation of his homeworld is Rodinsha. I got 3/4 of that one written out, and I never recorded it because it has a very tragic ending. A mind-bogglingly tragic ending. Yeah, I don't do romance, if you haven't figured that out yet. I'm just not I don't do all the kissy face, huggy bear, mushy cushy stuff. I just don't generally avoid it. I'm not a big romance writer. Ugh. See, it's steadily getting brighter out now, see? I'll be shocked if you're not hearing the birds in the background. They're so freaking loud out here. But it's going to be another lovely day. It's Tuesday. I'm scheduled to work Saturday, but I'm calling off. So there won't be any parking lot on Saturday. I can't tell you why. It's a thing. So. Yeah, they're all over the place out here. You know, because we got this whole stretch of woods right here across the street. And what's really cool is, if you listen really closely, you know, especially in, you know, later on in the morning, that's when you're going to hear the woodpeckers. You can't miss them. Those peckers are loud. Well, folks, it's about time for me to start moseying on down the dusty trail. So, once again, Ncuti wore a hat. Go check out the Rolling Stone article. Look for it on links to it on Twitter, or the chances are it's up everywhere. Or just do a Google search for it. Lots of good images. Nifty stuff he did for Rolling Stone. Also, well, yeah, real quick before I go. Speaking of leaks, Hugh Jackman put out a picture on his Instagram. Yes, Wolverine is in the yellow costume. It's not quite the same. You know, he ain't got bare arms and bare legs or on shorts. But he is in the striped yellow costume. Yeah, because there's a picture of him and, you know, and Deadpool walking down the beach or something. There's a whole lot of other shots that are out there now. And it looks really good, his costume. Well, I got to go. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. Be kind, be calm, be safe. And we'll see you. Enjoy your Tuesdays.